This is the before.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Alex, by the way. Alex.
Lloyd.
I'm Jessica. Deja. Nice to meet you.
Those flowers are take this?
I want to make sure you get the audio also, okay?
What are you guys doing this for?
Well, we're actually working with a project called the Woodhaven Block Association.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty much establishing what kind of town is Woodhaven. What does it have to offer to other people that have We're the students of St. Thomas, and we decided to participate in this Woodhaven Historical Society to know more about history. So Neir's Tavern is like, well, we read that it's very historical, especially with Haven, so we decided to consider it. And you know, we heard about Mae West and everything, and the Goodfellas movies. Yeah, and you're the oldest bar here in Haven, so yeah, it's very interesting.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate us and
So I'm going to start with a question. Would you like to start? Okay. Okay, so since Neir's Tavern is one of the oldest bars in New York, home of Mae West and the Goodfellas movies, how has it impacted the community?
That's a very good question.
That is a very good question.
I tell you something. One of the main reasons why we took this over about 2010. 2010 was because unfortunately it was going to close, and we didn't want that. We thought it was important to keep it open for the community, and we did that because there's been a lot of people that have passed through here, and it's become more of a meeting place, right? So sometimes you walk in and people haven't seen each other for maybe 20 years, but they come back here in hopes of meeting maybe someone that they once knew, and it's happened all the time. Also, another reason is because there's been people that's met here and actually got married because they met at this very place, and they come back to have their anniversary. So we kept it open to make sure that still happens, that people from the community can come back and relive the years that they used to be here. Right? So that's one of the reasons why we did that.
And the community was very supportive. I mean, they really, when we were working outside, people would stop by and say, "Oh, you're reopening again," you know, and they missed this place. So, you know, they were very, very supportive to us. And when we opened, the mayor sent us a letter, and all the politicians, you know, made proclamations for us. So it made us feel really good that we were wanted, which is very, very important. So that's why we did it.
Is there anything you miss that the tavern used to have?
Yes. The tavern used to have a bowling alley, right over there. And the bowling alley is actually still there underneath what is, there's recording studios back here. So it's still there, and whatever other pieces are upstairs. And one day, I think, we're going to put that bowling alley back. And by the way, it's one of the oldest bowling alleys in the United States. Because the Louis Neirs used to sell pool tables and things like that. And he put together one of the earliest of this type of bowling alleys. And it was 2 lanes, and it was the one that wasn't automatic. You had a child basically sit at one end and set the pins back up when they were knocked over.
They were probably your age.
Yes.
The children that set up the pins.
Kids used to work in those days.
Yeah. So if we set it back up, we might need you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what have you contributed to Woodhaven?
Well, I'll answer that. Since we've opened, we probably raised about $30,000 for different charities throughout Woodhaven. One of them that really close to my heart was one of our customers that been here for a long time. One of their kids was probably about 10 years old. Unfortunately, was dying from cancer, and they ran out of medical funds. So I heard about it, and immediately I thought we had to do something. They're one of our customers. They've been around for a long time. So we put together a fundraiser for little CJ, we called it. We had a barbecue outside, we set up a tent, We gave away free things, we had a raffle, and we had about probably 15 bands that played on a Sunday from 11 to about 8 o'clock at night. No charge. And they just played just to support and raise money for this kid. And it was such a great turnout. We donated all that money to his recovery and his medical expenses, so that he could get the medical care that he needs to stay alive. So that was one of the things we did, and we raised a lot more money for different organizations. The Woodhaven Volunteer Ambulance Corps, we raised about $5,000 or $6,000 for them. We also did a autism fundraiser. We raised about $3,500 for them. So these are things that we've done over the past few years, and we're hoping to do more fundraisers.
Well, has your experience working in the oldest bar even changed your life?
Yes, it has. You know, one of the nice things is that I'm very proud of this place. You know, it's so when you have something like this that's historic and is cared for and that people really love, it's something that you can really feel proud of. And when you talk to people about it, you know, you're excited about it. And I think that's something that's really very nice. And to come here and sit down here and know that, well, if it wasn't for us, this place wouldn't be here. And if it wasn't for all our hard work, like Roy and us chipping all the paint, like 100 years of paint off that thing, and, you know, restoring the bar and doing it in such a way that we didn't take away from the historical aspect. We didn't want to renovate it, we just wanted to put it back to what it was. So, you know, I'm very proud of it. And so for me, I think it's just something very nice that I have in, like, you know, in my, you know, like feather in my cap.
I'm very, again, this to us, coming from different business background, was never, unfortunately, it was never really a business decision for us. A lot of people will call us fools and why are you doing this? It has no hope. And there were people that tell us, just turn it into a bodega. It'll fit great. Turn it into a laundromat. There were people who was telling us that. So we didn't go by the business instinct, we went by our hearts. And by doing that, I think we did the right thing. And the customers, they're here, they tell us that, thank you for keeping it open. Because if we did a business decision, this wouldn't have been here right now. We probably wouldn't even be here. We'd probably open a business with, you know, 2,000 square feet with everything brand new and overcharging everybody. But we didn't want to do that. We wanted to do something very sentimental and close to our heart. And that's why we did this.
And my next question is pertaining to an event that united and brought happiness to the community. So, what was the experience of horse racing like for you? And would you like Woodhaven to bring this exciting event back?
Horse racing. Well, you know, horse racing here, this bar used to be known as the Union Horse Bar. Before that, it was known as Neir. It went through, you know, obviously since it's been here so long, it's been changed many times. But before, across the street, used to be a very famous racetrack called the Union Horse. And in those days, this is 1820s, racehorsing was the sport. Baseball didn't exist, football didn't exist, they hadn't even been invented. The national sport in America was racehorse. And they called it Union Horse because the horses from the north, the Union, would race against the horses from the south. And it was a very friendly rivalry that they had. And sometimes they would have races that would empty all of New York City. 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 people come, and this is in the 1820s. I mean, this is, you know, New York City maybe had that many people, so they'd all come here. So it was a very, very popular thing. And what happened is the person who started this bar, the man who founded it, Cadwallader Colden, whose cousin, by the way, was the mayor of New York City at the time, was a big racehorsing fan. He was an enthusiast of raising horses, and so he wanted a place across the street from the racetrack that he could build that could be his. And so he built the bar. And now the racetrack is long gone. It closed almost 100 years ago. And but the legend of these things continues. And so this place is so old that it's seen all these various different changes that had happened. In fact, this place was open. It wasn't even called Woodhaven in 1829. The neighborhood wasn't. Woodhaven didn't exist. You know, Woodhaven started afterwards. This was known as it was called Union Forest after the racetrack. It was just a bunch of fields. So, you know, all that's long gone, but this place has seen so much history. And I don't go to the horse races. Do you?
I don't.
We have to go to Aqueduct now.
We have to go to Aqueduct.
Right. So, did that answer your question? Okay.
What is something special about this tavern that you would like to share or a connection to?
Something special about this tavern we'd like to share?
Yeah, well, there's so much.
No, where should I start?
Let's start with her. She's a very funny woman.
Yes. Maybe the time that we're talking about this, maybe the time that we had a lookalike, A-West lookalike.
Impersonator?
Yes.
Yes.
What, did you see that? Oh, it was great. She did an awesome job. Awesome job. She talked the talk. She walked the walk. She did everything graciously. She looked just like her. And I thought that was like the coolest thing.
That was cool.
Really, it was just like throwback. It was like I just was thrown back to the past. And that's how well she did her job. And I'm hoping that I could bring her back and do the same thing over because it was so cool. But there's just so much. There's so much. I mean, downstairs you can see where the horses used to be kept. That's cool. There's the system, how they kept the beer cold. It's still preserved somewhat. We had to change it a little bit to update it, but it's still ice cold. I mean, it's so much. We could go on for days on it, but I just thought that was cool when she walked in and she had the boa and the dress and the hair and the long earrings. I was like, wow! I was so happy. I took a picture with her. I gotta take a picture with you, you know?
She came to life.
Yeah. So it was very cool.
From your perspective, do you personally like Woodhaven now or Woodhaven in the 1900s? Why?
I don't know. I mean, Woodhaven in the 1900s. Wow, I don't know what it really was like. I know that the subway didn't come out to here. You know, it ended over in Brooklyn. So it was like there was mostly farms. And when you see the picture of this place in 1898, I think it is, right? That's
Yes, 1898.
it looks like it's in the middle of a field. So, but I think after the subway came in, then things began to change. But honestly, I like Woodhaven now. And I like the fact that we can look back on 100 and some years of history, whereas before then we don't even be able to look back a little bit. Now we can look back a little more. And I just think to have such a cool place in this time, in this day and age, is really different. You know what I mean? Before, 100 years ago, there was a million Neirs. Now, there's only one or two there. You know what I mean? Really, around. They're closing constantly because, you know, there's so much, it's so hard to keep something place like this open. So I think it's kind of cool that, you know, today, being in Woodhaven today and still having something like this is kind of special.
Yeah, it is. It's like living in two time zones.
Right,
You
exactly.
walk in and you feel like you're in the early 1900s. You walk out and it's like, oh wait, it's the 21st century.
Where's my horse? Oh, I mean my
Oh,
car.
I'm in my car.
Do you believe moving to Woodhaven was the right choice in your life?
Well, I moved to Woodhaven. I was in Bayshore, Long Island for about 6 years. And then we kept this place open, and I moved to Woodhaven. I like Woodhaven. I really do. I think it has great potential. And, you know, if everything works out, I would like to stay here. So I think Woodhaven's a great place. It really is. And a lot of people don't realize that. I think the things that you're doing now, as it is, I think people will start to realize how special it is. You know? So for those new things, those very reasons, definitely I like Woodhaven. And that's one of the reasons why I moved here, because the things it's just community that's here. And when I could build up on that, if you could build that, just like you're doing and the Woodhaven Block Association is doing, the Development Corporation is doing, I think this place would be an awesome place for everybody to live. But I'm going to have to claim my place first.
You know, Woodhaven's still a neighborhood, and the neighborhoods in New York are going. You know, as you go to, you know, one new neighborhood, another, not the same anymore. Because there's just so many people coming in and there's so many people leaving, and there's a real transformation. Especially as the prices go up and up and up and up, and people are, you know, neighborhood people are forced out. So, but Woodhaven's still one of the nice and last neighborhoods in the city. And so, I don't live in Woodhaven, but I love coming to Woodhaven. And I live in Manhattan, and I can so tell the difference. Because Manhattan now is really very sterile, you know. It's lost its charm. It really has. But you come here and all of a sudden you're back in a neighborhood. You know, you don't feel like you're part of. Manhattan feels like you're in an airport. Really, but you feel like you're in a neighborhood. So that's the beauty of it.
What is a lesson or a message that you would like to tell us that can help us learn about our community and our world?
Well, I think one of the things that's important that we believe in, and that's a part of what we did, is we did what we loved to do. And when we saw this place, we fell in love with it. I mean, we really did, and we were like, we have to save it. And so, and each one of us, and that includes David, our other partner, do what we love to do. And I think, and Lloyd too. I mean, because Lloyd does more than just, he's a farmer and has a very big responsibility. But in the end, I think that's very, very important. And I think that if I had a message, I would say, do what you love to do, and you'll be successful. Because we, like Lloyd's saying, people would have said, this is crazy, what you want to do. And it was a lot of work. It took us a full year to get this place fixed. And but we didn't listen to people. We were like, we love this place and we enjoy being a part of it. And I think that is something that I keep in my mind. It's like I want to do things that I enjoy, but that also maybe are successful and that benefit other people.
What was your most memorable moment working here and in general? What do you
Yeah,
they're pretty good.
Besides and in person.
We've run out of our standard answers.
Okay. The most memorable.
That's okay.
Works.
So many. Well, I'll tell you a story that was very memorable. Even though it's a little tiny story, it doesn't mean anything, and because there's so many. But I was working outside, and a guy came up to me, just stopped, and I was making the front doors, and he just stopped, and he said, he was just driving, he said, is this place going to reopen? And he was an old man. And I said, yeah, we're gonna, because it had been closed for a little bit, and it had been kind of beat up, and people didn't come by, but now it will. And he said, I used to live here, and I used to be a paper boy in this neighborhood, and I used to go around on my bicycle, throwing out all the paper. And one day when I was 16, I parked my bike right here, and I got up the courage to come inside, and I sat down in the bar, and I ordered a beer. And the guy behind the bar, he says, who was this older German guy, said, do you have any identification? Are you old? And another guy who's next to me, even older, said, I see this kid all the time walking around giving away papers. He works hard. He can have a beer. And I remember that because I was just thinking to myself, here's a guy who lived here, he must have been in his 70s or something. And he was telling me a story from 50 years ago about what had happened and how he was a kid and all this stuff here. And I just remember that to this day. And I thought to myself, well, I'm so happy to keep this memory going for him. And then he got back in his car and he went off to where he was going. I know it's a little bitty story, but it just still, to this very day, you know, I still keep it in my mind that this old man came by and was like so happy that we were keeping it going and keeping his memories, you know, going.
I just think there's just it's just I'll tell you something. After we opened, about a year or two, maybe 2 years later, someone walked through the door and they said, "Hey, we want to shoot a movie here." Now, there's been a few short films that have been filmed here. You know, people have a camera and they just shoot it, but I said, well, sure, you can take a look around, see if you'd like to use it. Well, they did get back to us. And I'm going to skip a little bit, but that resulted in Ben Stiller coming here and shooting his latest film here. And I'm like, well, how do you even know to come to something like this? It's not a high traffic area. Well, the lady said that originally came and said, I came here because I was the one that found this place 20 years before to shoot Goodfellas. And Goodfellas is a movie that's been known, a classic movie. And she said I wanted to come back and wanted to bring Ben Stiller here to shoot his latest movie because I love this place. And they shot for several days. They brought in all the stars, they closed the street, we had to close the bar for 3 or 4 days. They did that thing. Right now, if you look in this movie called Tower Heist, in the middle of the scene, or in the middle of the movie, you'll see Neir's Tavern. And then they have a scene inside. And that will live on forever in movie history. So that's one of the most memorable events that happened here for me.
Well, before we end this interview, I just want to say thank you because during the interview, I realized how inspirational you guys are. Like you said that no one would listen, like people thought you were crazy for reopening this, and if it wasn't for you two who discovered this, like who reopened this place, I don't think kids in our generation would realize how special this place was. Because maybe like some modern day soul would take over. Yeah, so like I just want to say thanks because you made me realize how special this place was.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
Thank you for coming by. And, you know, I mean, what we like to be is open to the neighborhood. I mean, we've had poetry readings here, we have writers who come here and they give writing, you know, they talk about their writing. Obviously, when there's somebody that's a benefit or an event, we're always open for that. Obviously, like Hurricane Sandy, we did a big benefit to people who were victimized by that. But we like to be open to the neighborhood. And we want people to come in, and if they need something, they can come here. And if they need a place to hang out and talk about something, they can come here. And then, of course, you know, if they want to come and relax, they can come here too. So, you know, we enjoy being open, and that's why we're open to you. You know, we appreciate your coming and your being interested in it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.